G'day folks, today in this video we're going to be taking a look at the Osmo Mobile 3. Now this is the Osmo Mobile 3 combo. That means it includes some extra accessories such as a case and a tripod. The Osmo Mobile 3 is packed with brand new features, so let's just jump right in and take a closer look. So let's open it up here and we'll see what all comes inside the combo package. So we got a package there, and we've got another little package there. So let's open up the box first and we'll see what all comes inside of it. You can see here we have a wrist strap, we have a soft pouch, we have a mini tripod, and we have a USB-C cable. So this is the first Osmo Mobile that is now chargeable by USB-C. That is a nice touch as well. So now let's take a look at the unit itself. You can see the case for it there. It's actually a really nice case. We have an elastic pocket on the back, and then here we have the Osmo Mobile 3. And as you can see right away, one of the new features is that it folds up. So let's take a closer look at the unit here. It's actually quite small when it's in its folded state like this. I think it's a really important step that DJI has taken to make it foldable like this. If we compare it to the size of the Osmo Mobile 2, you can see just how much smaller it is. So I think the size is what kind of prevents a lot of people from using these on a regular basis. They work great and you can get some really amazing footage because most cell phones nowadays have amazing cameras in them. Really, who wants to carry this around all day? Something like this could almost fit right in a pocket. If you do have a small bag with you, definitely it won't take up a lot of room. And one of the nice features of this foldable design is that it's quickly deployed just like that and you're ready to shoot. Putting your phone in and balancing is quite a bit easier, and I'll show you that here in a minute once we get a phone mounted into it. Let's just take a look at some of the buttons and some of the features of it here. First off, on the bottom we have a quarter 20 for connecting things like tripods or even an extension pole if you so wish. On the side here we have a USB-C port for recharging the unit. I'm really happy that DJI is switching over to USB-C for all their new devices. Even version 2 still had a micro USB port, so that is definitely a huge bonus. At the top here we have a USB-A port that allows you to charge up any devices just by plugging into the handle there, and you could also use it to charge your phone while it's mounted in the gimbal. On the other side here we have our zoom toggle. On the back you can see they've brought the trigger button back. That was absent from the Osmo Mobile 2, but they've brought it back and it's actually quite a handy little button. This little button can do quite a bit. When you're using ActiveTrack 3.0 you can just press it once and that will lock in on the subject. A double press will recenter the gimbal. 3 presses will switch from the front to back camera. When you do a press and hold, that will lock the gimbal. If you do a double press and hold, that will initiate sport mode. If we go over to the front, we've got our mode and power button, we've got our shutter button, and then we have a 4-way joystick. The M button does quite a bit as well, and I'm going to get a little more into that once we get a phone mounted. Now, its folding design isn't the only new upgrade with the Osmo Mobile 3. First of all, it's a lot lighter. This comes in at 105 grams compared to 185 grams of the Osmo Mobile 2. Let's throw a phone in here and power it on. And really for balancing, that was it. You just have to kind of make sure it's centered in there until the weight is evenly distributed. Now another nice new feature of the Osmo Mobile 3 is that the lightning port, the charging port of the phone, is not covered. And that's important for a couple different reasons. First of all, your microphone ports are not blocked, but it also allows you to plug it in to charge it while using it. If you're a person who bounces around a lot between landscape and portrait mode, it's actually quite easy to do now. Just a quick double press on the M button. You can see it switches automatically. Another double press, and it goes back. That saves a lot of aggravation having to get in behind and then manually switch it. Now another change that I really like is that it now uses the DJI Mimo app. The Osmo Mobile 2 still used the DJI Go app, so now you just need one app for your Osmo Action, your Osmo Pocket, and now your Osmo Mobile 3. Now connecting to the Mimo app is just as easy as connecting any of the other Osmo products, and you can see here when I've launched the Mimo app, it's already asking me to connect. Now here's a little bit of a tip for you. If you're going to be using this with different phones, sometimes it may not pick it up. You have to reset the Bluetooth. If you need to reset the Bluetooth, all you do is hold the trigger button down, the shutter button, and the M button down simultaneously for 1 second, and then it should connect with no problems. So let's go ahead and we're going to connect. We'll pair it. Let's put it back into landscape mode. Again, just a double press on the M button. There is a ton of features in here. First off, we now have story mode. If you're a person who likes to use story mode with your Osmo Pocket, you can now use story mode with your Osmo Mobile and your smartphone. I'm not going to go through all the settings because we'd be here all day, but I just want to touch base on some of the new features. First of all, let's talk about ActiveTrack 3.0. With the Osmo Mobile 3, it's easier than ever to initiate it. I'm just going to use my plant here as an example. Now, of course, we can do it the traditional way just by drawing a line around it. And as you can see, as I move my phone around, it's going to keep it centered. So not only can we just draw a rectangle around it, we can actually initiate it 2 other ways. The second way to initiate it is just by pressing the trigger button. Now that feature has to be enabled, and we do so by clicking on those 3 dots down at the bottom. And from that first menu there, you can see it says one press ActiveTrack. All we do is we turn that on. So now whatever in that square there, watch, when I press the trigger button, it's going to pick it up. It's going to pick it up and automatically start tracking it. So that's really handy. And to end it, we just hit the trigger button again and it stops tracking. Now, the other way is to use gestures. If you're a lone cameraman and you've got this on a tripod and you want it to start active tracking, again, we have to enable that. We click these 3 dots. You can see there where it says gesture control. You can turn that on. Shows you the gestures there in that little info box. So at this point now, you can just make the gesture in front of the camera and it will start to track you. You can also use gestures to take a photo and to start recording. Now, of course, on the side here, we have all our different shooting modes. We got hyperlapse, time-lapse, slow motion, video, photo, pano, and of course story mode. Earlier in the video I talked about the M button and it can do a few things. So first of all, just a single press will switch between photo and video mode, so that's quite handy. I've already shown you a double press will go from landscape to portrait mode. But you can change the functionality of this M button if you would actually prefer to use it for quick access mode. Basically, that gives you quick access to all your settings and you can change things on the fly with one hand. So to change that, we click on those 3 dots again. We're going to click on that middle button there. And down at the bottom there where it says press M button, right now it's to switch photo recording. But we can switch that to quick menu. So now if you're out filming and you want to change some settings quickly, you can just press the M button. You can see it brings up this new menu. You can switch through all the different shooting modes. And of course, we can go over and choose our gimbal mode. So that's kind of nice that they give you that kind of customization and you can set things the way you think is most useful for you. So it is actually very comfortable to hold. You can really feel that weight difference. And not that the other one was uncomfortable to hold by any means, but definitely there is quite a bit of difference there. When you're done shooting, you can see there it snaps in kind of like magnetically like the Osmo Pocket does, and that allows you to simply fold it up just like that. And as you can see here, you can fold it while your smartphone is still mounted, and if you just want to throw that right into a bag, you don't have to take your phone off, and that way when you want to deploy it again later, you can do so quickly. So I'm just going to go head out and do some test footage with it and see how it works. Yeah, folks, that is the Osmo Mobile 3. I think DJI has done a good job and has made this a lot more practical for a lot of people. Now, if you're in the market for one and you do go to purchase it, there's 2 different packages that you can buy. You can buy just the gimbal itself for $119, or you can buy the combo kit, which comes with the hard case, the soft pouch, and a tripod, and that goes for $139. I think it's kind of nice that they included that soft pouch because you don't always want to carry a case around with you, especially if you have to carry this in a very small camera bag. Even though it doesn't take up a lot of room, having it in a pouch will take up even less room. The build quality of it is actually quite nice, and that was kind of one of my complaints of the Osmo Mobile 2 when it came out. Going from the Osmo Mobile 1 to the Mobile 2, even though it had some nice new features, the quality just didn't seem as high as the first one. Plus the grip here at the front is rubberized, anodized now, so it does give you a better grip compared to version 2, which was just all plastic. So all in all, a nice little product from DJI. I'll leave the links down below where you can go and check it out further if you want to learn more about it. Now, I'm really hoping DJI's next release is going to be a drone. We've seen a lot of great new products from DJI this year, so please, DJI, give us a new drone. Well, folks, that's it for my video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.